Welcome back to the Brew Crew Podcast, everyone. This is day 17 of the Advent Calendar. BCP. We talked about it yesterday, whether it is actually co-sponsored by Barrel House. It's not. I just say Barrel House because Sarah selected all of the beers. We talked with Matt yesterday. Great episode. Go check it out. Barrel House Matt, or as podcast Matt calls him, Better Matt.
Better Matt.
Better Matt. Can't find a better Matt, I believe were the words from Pearl Jam.
Oh, nice.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I do.
Today we got Other Half out of Brooklyn, New York. New York City. It's like you can't make salsa in New York City, apparently.
Oh, you can't?
I don't know. That's what the commercials used to say. We talked a little bit yesterday about like how the Europeans they think that they can make all the rules and that they get upset when the Americans do something great, like make good whiskey or make good beer. They don't want to admit it because it's America.
It is.
But we do everything better. That's why all the innovation comes from here. What's the
definitely
last technology that came from Great Britain? I mean, Ireland does. Ireland has some good technology. They have a lot of technologists. I don't know if any technology comes out of there, but
I think the Brits do too. The Brits have an energy weapon that they tested from a ship and knocked and basically obliterated something a mile and a half up, and it was done, I think, way before the Americans had an energy weapon.
Oh, wow.
Well, at least that they published. You know, we could have one that's dark, but I don't know.
We had the atomic bomb, so.
We do. And thermonuclear.
We win.
Yeah, so Hearing Voices.
Hearing Voices.
It is an American IPA. There was some speculation, even before we started this podcast, that it was a NEPA, or was it just an IPA, and it's, I think, classified as an American IPA.
That's what Beer Advocate has it as. On the Other Half website, they have it as an IPA, double dry hopped, regular IPA. American IPA on Beer Advocate. Not a lot about this beer.
Nope, 6.3%, so kind of up the middle.
6.3%.
They are known for their NEPAs, I understand. That's what the sort of the blurb on them is over the web. They're one of the microbreweries, American microbreweries that kind of focus on that, but that doesn't mean they exclusively brew
Makes sense IPAs, being in New York.
So, yeah.
You do a little bit of haze.
So we don't really know that much about this beer. That's why we're going to crack it right now and have a taste and let you know.
Let's crack it. You count
3,
down.
a 2, a 1.
We're in Casa de la SFIL.
Yes.
So you get to count it down. So far, so good. On the nose.
Yeah. Tastes good. Smells good. It's supposed to have a extremely liberal dose of hops in there, of several kinds. Mosaic and, I don't know, some others. All to give it more. And dry hop, by the way. That was dry hopped. It's double dry hopped. So you know what that's for. We've talked about this in an early podcast episode. That's for aroma. So we should smell a lot, and I already do before I even pour. Yep, citrusy, bready, citrusy. Some fruit.
It's got sweetness. A little sweet. Hearing Voices. I wonder what that's about. You know, sometimes we do talk a lot of can art. There's an art to it, not only in what you put on the can, but you know, how you put it on the can, when you put it on the can, how it relates to the other beers you make and stuff like that. Talked even about that yesterday and how Better Matt had said, you know, maybe Maine is kind of the antithesis of can art. I argued, I think maybe they're not. Maybe they fall in line only because the white, you know, it is the antithesis of can art in the sense that it's not busy, but the white label is it draws the eye. But what we've talked about in the past, not recently, but a long time ago, was the names of the beer, not really having to do with the beer or the can art. I don't know what Hearing Voices has to do with any of this.
I'm sure there's probably a story.
Excuse me.
But I have not been able to find an other half brewing website. So,
Oh, there's a website.
oh, is there?
Yeah, yeah.
I didn't see
I'll
it.
get to it.
I scrolled through a couple of pages of Google results and didn't see it, but my lack of patience probably.
It's all good. Other half
In Brooklyn,
brewing.
you mentioned that. So this can art's interesting in that it's kind of disappearing can art. As you look at it, it's like reverse imaging, like reverse imaging photography, right? So it's like a yellowish kind of label stuck on there on a very plain silver can, and then there's cutouts in it. Actually, no, it's not cutouts. It's actually gold, little gold places, little patterns throughout the can, and then there's writing on it, and the writing's in white, and this is kind of lemon yellow. So it's pretty hard to see unless the writing actually happens to fall in one of the spots where there's a gold spot or pattern. So it's interesting. It's kind of tough to read. So hence John had to go online to get more information about it.
Yeah, you can barely see the words. It's crazy.
It's hard. Yeah.
So apparently,
It's kinda
other
cool.
half, they are. I don't know what this means. We push the boundaries of beer and the culture that surrounds it by representing the other half of the industry. What other half?
Who's the other half?
Yeah, which half are you?
I don't know.
If there were two halves, which half are you? I don't even know what half. I guess they're referring to the sentence before that when they said they wanted to create beers that they wanted to drink. So are they suggesting that there are half of the breweries don't produce beer that they want, that the people who make it want to drink?
Or is it that they don't make the kind of beer that these guys want to drink or want to make?
I don't know what this other half is.
Or that maybe those guys think that they brew the other half of the beer that nobody wants to drink.
Ooh, one of my favorite things about a beer website, a FAQ page.
Oh, really?
How many frequently asked questions? Wow, they got a lot actually. What's the story behind the name? Our vision for the company was to push the boundaries of beer and culture that surrounds it by representing the other half of the industry. That's exactly the same thing it said in the first place. Are you hiring? We are. Do all locations brew the same beer? No. They go into more detail. Are your beers kosher, vegan, gluten-free? Our beers are not kosher. Most of them are vegan, but we list lactose and other allergens, and we don't make any gluten-free beers. I work for a charity and interested in a donation for an event. These questions, I don't know. These are frequently asked. Let's see. What do you think this is a frequently asked question? Can someone else pick up my beer for me?
I can't imagine there's a lot of people asking that.
Now, can you ship beer? That's it. Yeah, they ship to Ohio, by the way. So now I've looked at that and I've wasted all of your time. Let's talk about this beer.
This beer's good. I actually like this beer.
Straight from the can.
Beats the heck out of the beer I had last night, which
I like it too.
I have now been informed that indeed it was a confirmation that I got a bad beer of some sort.
Yeah, your beer was probably skunked.
Yeah, it
Because
was.
our beer was good.
Yeah. JT and Matt and the better Matt had a great beer. I also saw Stebbs. He liked it. Actually, I think he was a little ambivalent, but it certainly wasn't skunked or bad. So anyway, I'm looking forward to having some of that. And I'm going to go to the Barrel House to try to get some. I hope. Did Matt, the better Matt, say that it's still on tap?
I don't think it's still on tap. There's no way it would still be on tap this far into the future.
I know.
Sorry, man.
Dang. Well, we'll give it a shot. We'll keep looking for it. I was really looking forward to that.
Yeah,
anyway.
It's going to be tough to find. It's 2019.
Yeah. Yeah, 2019.
But we'll look. I mean, it's worth looking. Get you the right taste.
Yeah. I was looking forward to it. Just as another point of comparison, of course, to the extravaganza beer that we had. As well, which was interesting. It generated a lot of conversation. For any of those who missed the episode, go back and check it out. It's a little long, but it's worth it.
Worth it.
Humorous and a lot of fun. We had a lot of fun that day. So, all right.
Indeed.
Tasting. What do you think?
Well, here's what I think. So it's got, what did we say? Moeka, Cashmere,
Nice.
and Simcoe, or what did I say the other one was?
Mosaic and
Mosaic.
Mosaic,
And
and
Mueca
yep,
or whatever. Mueca.
yep.
I think that I was expecting a much danker beer. I think this beer is essentially the perfect IPA. I cannot find something I don't like about it. There's a lot of IPAs that have names that elicit candy, like Candy Crushable. That's a beer. I can't remember who makes that one. It's got a big mouth on it and candy kind of floating around in the background in the can art. Very popular beer because of the name, Candy Crushable. And it's like, that sounds good. And then there's like gummy ones, and there's all these IPAs that have these names that you'd think, wow, there must be some sort of sugar candy in this beer. And you have them, and they're just basic IPAs. The thing I think of first when I drank this, besides IPA, the first like tone or note that came out that was an IPA was gumdrop.
Oh, nice.
There's a gumdropness to this,
Nice.
and it's very, very good. It's not getting worse as I go along. I do feel like you need to drink this beer ice cold. As it warms up, I think I'm going to like it less, but I'm not going to let it warm up. I'm going to crush it because this beer is very good. I can't believe that this is happening. I have only given 2 5s out this whole calendar. And one of them was an IPA, and I'm about to do it again.
Wow.
And they're both 2 IPAs and a barley wine.
Wow.
Yeah, this is a 5 for me. This beer is freaking good. This is about as good as of an IPA as you're gonna ever get. I think this is probably the perfect execution. We talk about it all the time. How can an IPA get a 5?
Better? Yeah. Yeah.
Because they're all like, they basically all start as like 3.75 or 4s. And then you give me like a standard. You give me something that I could drink every day, a standard IPA, I'm just going to get a 4. What can you do to make it better? And I always just think, wow, there's got to be something. I don't know. Whatever's in this beer is, I mean, I could drink a case of this right now. I don't even know how much a case would be.
I'm
like
so
four,
dying.
Is it four 4-packs? Is it 6 4-packs? I don't know, but I'll drink them all.
I'm so dying to jump in.
Go ahead. I've given my score. I'm basically done now.
You've totally stolen my thunder, man. This is Phil. This is my first 5.0 of the year.
Wow.
And I've had several that are 4.75s. I've had 3 4.75s to this point. And one of them, which was the smoothie, I should have given a 5.0. That was the best damn smoothie I've ever had.
Change it. You can change it.
Yeah, I'm going to appeal to Matt and
It's done. It's
Done.
appealed.
Thank you. I have one of the
Approved.
justices on the court with me
We'll
right now.
get the spreadsheet updated.
It's a 5. So this, I guess this is my second 5, and I'm an IPA lover. Started brewing IPAs when I was a young brewer out of college, and I know a lot about IPAs, and I love drinking IPAs of all different styles. This is a really interesting one. It's dry hopped, so it's got a lot of hop characteristics in the nose, and but not bitter because it's all been dry hopped, as we've talked about. So it wasn't in the boil where it gets to the bitter point. It was in the double dry hop stage in fermentation where it doesn't contribute to bitterness. It's just to the aroma. So it's about the most perfect balanced IPA. It is probably the most perfect balanced IPA I've had all year. And that's saying a lot because I love that AleSmith IPA that we had, Party Trick, on day 5, I want to say, 4 or 5, whatever it was.
Party Trick.
I love that a lot. I think I gave that a 4.0.
That was a claim to be West Coast.
Yes, exactly.
But wasn't.
And I think that's one of the reasons I liked it because it surprised us so much.
yeah.
You know, it was not
Good point.
overly bitter and overly hoppy like a West Coast you'd expect. This one is perfection. It is the perfect balanced IPA.
It really is.
And I think what I like
crazy.
it, and what I like best about it is the double dry hopness added a lot of aroma. So it adds to the richness of the flavor of it because, you know, more than half the battle of your taste is what you're smelling, is what your olfactory nerves are picking up, right? So it all contributes to taste as well. and it's not it's not a double IPA, it's not a triple, it's 6.8, I think you said. Did you say 6.8? So it's not 6.3. So it's pretty normal, but it's not overly bitter on the finish. It's got a beautiful finish on it. You taste all kinds of stuff when you get some of the hops out of the way. You taste all kinds of stuff in that finish, all kinds of fruit esters and just yummy, breadiness in the yeast finish versus the the bitterness. There's just all kinds of really great stuff going on there. I did not taste the gumdrops, but I like that.
Yes, you did.
It's sweet. It's sweet, and I was trying to put my finger on that, and I was thinking candied apples or not quite candied apples, but no cinnamon. You know what I mean? It's got a kind of a candied sugar,
Like a gumdrop.
like a gumdrop. There's some sweetness in there, and I'm not sure where that comes from because, it's not betrayed or revealed in the
Not
alcohol
the gumdrop
content.
buttons.
No.
It's from Shrek. The gingerbread man.
Nice.
You don't remember that?
No, I don't remember
When
that.
the king is pulling off the gumdrop buttons.
Oh, he said, no, not the... Oh,
Yeah.
Nice.
You got it.
Nice.
Sorry, I didn't mean to throw that interruption at you.
I love that. That's good.
All right.
Matt loves it when you do that.
Oh, does he?
He does. He was saying that at the extravaganza. He goes, I love it when he throws curveballs and it just stops you in your tracks.
Yeah.
That's part of the chemistry.
Part of it. That's part of it.
It's part of it. No, I can't say a thing about this. It's great. By the way, it is hazy. Quite hazy.
It's quite hazy.
They don't brand it as a
Very
hazy.
opaque.
It is.
100%, I'd say.
Yeah, it is pretty much. I mean,
Yeah,
more
maybe,
hazy than
maybe 90%.
yeah. But it's a beautiful color though. It's that golden kind of color. I don't know. There's nothing about this I don't like. It's a 5.0. It's perfect. I don't know what else to say about it. It's
Perfect.
great. You should run out and buy some of this wherever you can find it.
Preferably Barrel House.
Yeah, go to Barrel House. See if they've got more. It does come in a can, so hopefully they have some on stock.
Man, good beer. I wonder what everyone else thought of it.
I don't know. I'd wonder too. But I tell you what, I'm going to buy some. I'm going to buy. This is
Keep it on tap.
Yep, it's going in my fridge.
Getting a whole keg.
That would be great.
When the boys come.
The boys come.
Yep. Uncle B and Uncle T.
Oh man, it's not going to be for a while.
Yeah, but they're going to like this beer.
They're going to love it.
You need to have it for them.
They're going to love it. This surpasses the other IPAs we've had this year, and in this Advent calendar. And we've had a bunch so far. We've had double IPAs.
What was the other one? What was the one I gave it 5 to? I don't even remember at this point.
Was it Party Trick?
No, it wasn't Party Tricks. I'll find out. I'll figure it out.
There was one earlier, and then there was one since then.
It's all right.
Did you give a 5?
Talk about something else.
Did you give a 5 to a stout earlier?
No. Did I?
I thought you did.
Maybe that's what I gave a 5 to.
I think it was a stout.
Or did I give a 5 to Bone Zone? Maybe. Or maybe it was the Eyes Wide Open Milk Stout.
Oh yeah, that's what it was.
Was it?
I think that's what it was. That was really good. The Eyes Wide Open Milk Stout was...
It definitely wasn't Southern Ohio regular. That was a disappointment.
That was terrible. That was just bloody awful. And
You've been on a bloody kick lately.
I have been a little bit.
You texted me bloody.
Did I really?
Yeah, I was like, what the heck? Are the British coming?
There's violence going on over at Spill's house.
The British are coming.
Gotta run over and
tell us that we can't make beer in America.
Make sure everyone's
Newsflash,
okay.
we can.
Yeah. Oh man, we've taken the art to a different level, and it's not that they're not making great beer over there. They still are. They're making great beer.
They're making beer.
They're making beer, and they're trying new stuff and stuff. But when I taste, for example, a Kolsch that came from Germany, right, and it was very innovative in its time, right? I talked about this.
First time.
It was the first time they used there was a hybrid beer.
Computers were cool when you used punch cards, but we moved on,
I learned how to program with punch cards. That was my first programming job. It was like horrible. And the thing is, we already had
Kolsch of computers.
Yeah, it was. It was the Kolsch of computers. It was. It was at our training school for Anderson Consulting in the Worldwide School. The very first thing you do is you have to program onto cards and then run them through the card reader to put it in there, and then after that you get online and use a CRT, a CRT, a great big green screen, text only, blocky text, like the Pong text kind of a tube. But it was at least an online editor, right?
At least.
I don't know how we got out of this. Anyway.
How did we get onto that topic?
Yeah. Oh, computers. Computers are our
Just
life.
the Europeans.
Yeah, the
Europeans trashing us.
You know, we've taken IPAs to a whole different place than they do, and I still love the British IPAs. They're wonderful. By the way, I saw some guy, an American guy, who was given yesterday. He was giving a review of an IPA, some IPA, and he called it the IPA, the International Pale Ale. And I was like, it's not international, it's India Pale Ale.
India Pale Ale.
The revisionist. So I was thinking,
I see. It's the revisionist history.
Yeah, it's the
I could see
revisionist.
that. I could see that.
Well, it's gone international now, but that's not what
It's
IPA
fine.
stands
It's
for.
not what. Yeah, it's not even about the name. It's more about like the purpose of the name. But anyway,
Exactly, because the name tells the history and the purpose
the
of
name
it,
tells
right?
the history.
And we can't let that go. History is important. History is good. Anyway, I was talking about the Kolsch, and yeah, I mean, when you look at that, I was just wholly unimpressed by that.
Yeah,
There was
it sucks.
You?
Yeah, I
was
didn't
like
like it at all.
I was like,
I don't want that beer.
no, I would never buy that beer.
I get that people are like, oh, purists. I'm only drinking this beer so I enjoy it. I'm not. Why this some of this stuff is just like, it's so frustrating when you get these guys who are like gatekeepers and they're like, you have to like the classics to appreciate whatever, and then they'll just hate on sours and stuff. It's like, you got, okay, German purity laws, like Matt always says, 4 ingredients in a Kolsch. You do a good job. You made a Kolsch. Congratulations. But the artfulness that's in beer today, move on. Get to today.
Well,
don't gatekeep because people like different things. Like, oh, you're not a sophisticated beer drinker.
You don't create a legacy from checking off the boxes and doing a style right. Your legacy is built upon your reputation, which is built upon how many people actually want it.
How long can your brewery last?
Right.
Making Kolsches.
Right. It's.
But
your brewery will last if people want what you're making.
If you're Anchorage, and you make it, and people are like, this is the best Kolsch I've ever had. It's still a 275, but it's the best one I've had.
Pretty much. Yeah,
you're Anchorage, you've made beers that people have literally paid $100 for.
Yeah.
So I mean,
I agree. I mean, I wanted to like it because it was Anchorage, and I did think it was probably the best Kolsch that I've ever had, and which is not surprising, knowing how well Anchorage does the craft.
I wonder how 450 would make a Kolsch.
Oh, that's very interesting.
They'd fuck it up.
They would add fruit to it or something.
Hell yeah, you'd add fruit to it. That's the only way to make it good. 450's not in the business of making beer that doesn't taste good.
Oh man, I wonder how it would go down. I mean,
well, we did have a Kolsch that was a cherry Kolsch once, so it did break the purity laws. I think I don't think that 450 would venture into the Kolsch territory. It just doesn't make a lot of sense for them. Who would buy that?
Not their normal customers. That's for sure.
Not their normal customers. And then the ones who are like, oh, a Kolsch, like I'm talking about these purists, and then they're going to see the rest of the offerings from 450 and be like, oh, how dare they?
Yeah, I should have had
Blasphemy.
that. Or actually, I should have had that or that or that
all those
instead of the.
Seriously.
Yeah. That's the kind of, I think about 450 North the same way. They got so many good things to try that you've never heard of or tried before.
Yeah.
Why would you pick a Kolsch? But anyway.
I think the next phase of beer is going to be a 450 style stout, where they start using so I saw that this was happening, but I never actually saw the product where they had thicker peanut butter beers, or they had cinnamon toast crunch with crunchy stuff in it.
Oh wow!
Stuff that actually has
texture.
What did we call it? Not the esters, but the
adjuncts.
Some crunchy adjuncts.
That'd be interesting.
Cinnamon toast crunch.
That'd be really. You know what? That might be the next phase of beer because now you have no texture. It's just all liquid.
Yeah, all liquid.
And And
Can you
people
texture a stout? Yeah.
exactly adding texture to any beer would really add a totally different dimension to it than you have today.
Because that's what sours. That's where sours have moved to. They went
Yeah.
from like sour liquids to
Smoothies.
adjunct filled smoothies.
Yeah.
I think stouts. I know I've seen it on Instagram, but they're all pictures for now. I think that they're concepts more.
Yep.
I think it's coming.
Well, and some of the smoothie sours that we've had are thick. You know, they're thick and almost viscous, which has texture to it, right? And people are loving those.
They're loving them.
I love
You
them.
just got you
SFIL.
milkshake up a stout.
I'm an old school traditional guy, and I love it. I love
amazing
those.
stuff.
They are good.
Milkshake up that stout.
Milkshake up that stout. Milkshake smoothie up that stout.
Yeah. Put some cereal in it.
Oh man, I can see it. Well, we've had some. What was the one we compared to the CBS, right?
Oh yeah.
With the maple.
That was
and
the
and
fretboard, but it didn't
fretboard.
compare.
Yeah, Fuji.
Wasn't even close.
Yeah.
You gave it a 5, didn't you?
No, I didn't give it a 5. I gave it a 4.25. I think I gave it a 4.25. I gave it a pretty high rating. I liked it. But then again, I've never had CBS. So if I had a CBS and that's what I was comparing to, kind of like the other day when we were comparing, the Extravaganza beer to Decadence, that beer's not going to fare well, probably not as well because it's tough. You're talking about
was great.
one of the best ever. So
best ever.
The
goat.
So yeah, the goat. And so I'm yearning for a CBS now too.
Oh, I'm not yawning.
Don't do it. Don't make me
I
do
didn't
it.
yawn.
I'm going to be up late tonight working.
Yeah. All right.
All right. So
2
I think
5s.
that's it. 2 5.0s.
10 out of 10.
You can't really beat that.
Can't beat that.
Wow.
Can't beat that unless you punch it. That's it.
A lot.
That's day 17. Join us tomorrow for day 18.
In the can. We have exactly 1 week left from today.
1 week left. What's
Yeah.
tomorrow?
Tomorrow is the 18th.
Well, yeah. What's tomorrow's beer? It's going to be a Dippa.
Yes.
Tropical Riot. Angry Chair. And then on the 19th, I'm hoping to get a special treat, Frank, which I think you can. I think you should try to join for.
Oh, I'd love to.
Yeah, let's see if we can get Frank to taste the beer, actually. It's not just smell it, say it sucks, taste it, say 0, and move on with his life. Maybe we could get him to, give us some notes.
Let's do it.
So that'll be Dank House, Gush Your Mouth. I think a sour is the right beer for him.
Oh, it's going to be a good beer.
And the remaining beers here, in case you want to follow along, we got Bonfire Fields by Phase 3. That's going to be a red ale.
Phase 3.
Phase 3, Adhara, the very next day at Dippa.
Yep.
Then Fair State 10th anniversary. Whoever typed this out put a little quote mark in there, and that's 10 inch. But it's actually 10th anniversary Imperial Stout.
That was mad.
Fair State. Then Humble Forager on the 23rd. Humble Forager makes great beer.
Yep.
Enchanted Island Lava Flow. That's a sour. And then the very last day, we're very excited about this. A Tripping Animals 450 North collab. It's going to be Pucker Up Alpaca Sour. That's a collab between two breweries that just dominate the market
on sours.
Yeah,
and they're it's going to be great, and I'm looking forward to that. And I always say I'm not a sour drinker, but like I said at the
he's
Extravaganza,
a sour drinker now. He's
I'm a sour drinker
no
now.
longer a sour drinker.
So look, we've got 7 days left, and at least 5 of those sound like home runs to me. So this is wrapping up to be an epic Advent calendar season, possibly the best ever. And we'll see in 7 days, in 1 week from today, we'll be able to definitively say, wow, we are looking back. That was the best dang Advent calendar season ever. It's already shaping up to be that. I mean, even if we have a couple of oinkers, here.
Oinkers.
I still think it's going to be a good one. But anyway,
it's going to be great.
We're excited. We know you're excited, Chuggalos, and we hope those of you that aren't Chuggalos yet but are thinking about it and are joining us, we hope you get excited too, because it's going to be a great
If you're
finish
thinking
to the
about being a
season.
Chuggalo and you're watching this 29 minutes in, you're a Chuggalo. You made it this far.
That's kind of what we do. We're kind of a little long-winded. I won't speak for John, actually. Okay, I'm long-winded, so I can say that for a fact.
It's all good.
All right. Thank you all for watching. A lot of love we're putting out there, and we'll see you tomorrow on day 18.
Yeah. Lots of love. LOL.
LOL.
Bye.
Bye.